The game produced one of the season's flashpoints, a hotly disputed penalty decision given by Andy D'Urso, who came face to face with Roy Keane.
Going through my mind was the referee made a wrong decision, and I still think he made a wrong decision. But to be fair, after the match, we never really were that bothered about it. The manager had a word with me and a few of the players, and I didn't think it was that bad. But then, having seen it on video, and we realised how bad it was, and it was totally out of order. You know, any human being doesn't deserve that kind of treatment. A lot of people said maybe I could have been sent off or whatever. I think that the referee deep down probably thought, you know, it's a passionate game. We felt he made the wrong decision.
And Roy could do a lot of everything for me. Roy's early career, box to box, getting ahead of the ball, scored goals, disciplined himself to play a different role at Manchester United. It's interesting. The amount of time I played with Roy, I don't think I never remember making a pass with the outside of his right foot.
Yeah.
I mean, always received the ball. We're talking about Valencia playing in tight areas of the pitch. Well, Roy would play 5-10 yards outside his penalty box in a tight area. No problem. Give me the ball, half turn, head up, knowing where the next pass was. Always play forward. I remember me, I was the opposite, sideways and backwards. And I remember constantly Roy, play forward. And he was right, because too often I took the easy option.
Well, Rio Ferdinand tells a similar story about arriving at United and in his first training session getting the same word back, playing the ball, effing forward. You're at United now, not Leeds, was the line. It's interesting that Keys has overlooked Roy's passing ability to such an extent. Like Wayne Rooney was asked in the Sunday Times, I distinctly remember it was a couple of years ago, who was the best passer you played with? And like 9 times out of 10, if you were to guess what Rooney would say, you would have thought, well, maybe Scholes and possibly Beckham, you know, for a certain type of pass. Yeah. And straight away he said, Roy Keane. Roy always passed it forward into my feet and quickly. And maybe that's just an underappreciated thing by those of us looking on sometimes. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I'd probably say Scholes in terms of range of passing. I'd lean for Scholes just in terms of range of passing. But you're right, Roy, in terms of weight of pass and that forward pass all the time, always right side. You know, never put the attacker in danger if his defender coming across and smashing him. But always kind of safe side if you understand where the pass was played. Roy was a brilliant passer, ball, technically far better than. So I say some people didn't give him credit. There's not too many. It's a pretty minority group of people who don't give Roy credit in terms of the quality of passer, the football that he was. How often nowadays, Joe, do we bracket midfielder? He's a holding midfielder. He's defence. I do it myself. He's defence-minded midfielder. He's more of a creative. He's a number 8. You know, he's a number 6. You know, how often do we speak about an actual old-school, modern box-to-box player who really could do anything? He could sit in there and defend. He could screen the 2 centre halves, track runners, make good decisions, and then get on the ball and be productive in possession of the ball. Not only that, actually get ahead of the ball and influence the game by arriving late inside the box and score his fair share of goals and create goals. And Roy did all that in different phases of his career. I heard John, so I put a lot of stock in terms of what John says, particularly when he's talking about kind of footballers and breaking down their individual qualities. And I heard him speak about Roy, because I think John was asked who of all the players he's played with and seen, who he'd pick to play alongside him. Right. In a midfield too, and John would have played and obviously played against and in his own team, and at the time that he played some wonderful midfield players, and he leaned towards Roy, and obviously Liam would have been in there and many others, but he spoke about it at some length, but eventually he pipped for Roy. Yeah. And he made a great observation about Roy. Yeah. He said Roy always struck me, he was at his best in the first half of the game, even the first half an hour. He said when it struck me the game was in the balance. Yeah. When it really mattered, there was a real tension, a real edge to the game.
The other team had the energy to press.
Yeah, no, but he just felt as if the game mattered then. The game was there to be won. Yeah. And that's when Roy would at his very best, played at his peak. That's when he was almost interested. He loved it. Yeah. You know, in the eye of the battle and the eye of the storm and all that type of thing. When he got ahead 1-2-0, suddenly his influence lessened. It was as if, well, game's over and I'm not really interested. Keep it simple. Yeah. Manage myself through the game. And I understood what he said. I thought it was a very perceptive thing that he said. Yeah. But the points he made about Roy in terms of his qualities, presence, personality, and the individual, the technical qualities that we're talking about, you know, for someone like John to make that statement about Roy is puts it in perspective.
Yeah, that shuts the case. Yeah. Was he unimpressive in training for you?
I don't remember that one way or the other, to be honest with you. I don't remember Roy being absolutely ferocious, going around the place, lunging himself into tackles and stuff. Did he kind of walk into sessions? No, maybe he managed himself, particularly as he got a bit older. Just kind of managed his energy a little bit. And of course, he found the game so easy at times, Roy, in terms of for what we're talking about. So, no, I wouldn't go one way or the other there. But I think in terms of it's interesting. Roy being on the training pitch, there was always up the level a little bit from the other players, even subconsciously. Joe would say, having Roy there, not kind of, it's an interesting, you never really speak about it, but almost trying to impress.
Sure.
On a certain level, knowing how good he was, how influential he was, and just trying to say, you know, Roy, I can do it. Even if it was like, yeah, good. Didn't get too many compliments off Roy during the game or in training, but when they came and they were few and far between, yeah, good pass, good tackle, you know, begrudging.
Yeah.
It meant a lot. 10 foot tall.
I'm sure.
And that's the shame, really, I think, what Roy, I'm not sure he ever realised how much those kind of words meant to players, how much of a pick-me-up that was to hear the compliment or just get a wink or an acknowledgement off Roy on occasions that, yeah, well done.
Well done.
That meant a huge amount to everybody.
They say one Roy Keane well done is worth 55 Kevin Kilbane well done.
I don't know. Is that harsh? What does that say? What are you trying to say exactly?
I don't know. Kevin Kilbane's a nice man.